all new tonight.
This Yankee lawyer is tough.
Objection. Order.
But in Charleston, South Carolina...
You murdered my stepdaughter!
Max, no!
The judge has reached a decision.
Her dark past...
Do you have some connection with Max?
...could jeopardize her future. Bet you can't watch just one. New Reckless at its new time, CBS Sunday.
It's our firm belief that corners are meant to be hugged, not cut. Luxury without compromise. The all-new Audi A3. Experience the Summer of Audi event today and get exceptional values on the Audi you've always wanted.
Top Rashad had just said, if you don't have to go out, don't.
Tonight, a lot of people now realizing the destruction of a devastating overnight storm.
Cape Charles on Virginia's eastern shore in mourning tonight after a tornado delivers a direct hit on a popular family campground. I'm Scott Broom. More on the victims who died.
Cooler air rolling in, clouds rolling out, but showers are back in the forecast over the weekend. We'll let you know which day is safe for your plans.
It's a one push button distress panic notification. You're instantly connected to an emergency communications center.
Plus, see how a company here in Silver Spring just might be saving lives tonight in Israel. But we have breaking news right now in Prince George's County. I'm Derek McGinney.
I'm Jan Jeffcoat. Late tonight, we got word of a mistrial in the case of a D.C. police officer accused of trying to kill his wife after an argument last November.
Mola Lange joins us now from Prince George's. So, Mola, what happened to cause the mistrial?
Well, Derek, it was a hung jury that caused this mistrial. After 7 hours of deliberation, the jury could not come to a unanimous decision beyond a reasonable doubt. Therefore, the judge declared a mistrial. Obviously, as you can imagine, the state's attorney's office here in Prince George's County says they are surprised by this ruling. They are disappointed by this ruling, but they are not discouraged by this ruling. They do plan to retry this D.C. police officer for attempted murder. Now, you may remember this case from last November because some of the, we'll say, uncanny details. Samson Lawrence and his wife both say that Lawrence was installing a television set in their home one night last November when he became angry with his wife because she didn't know where the screws to hang the TV were. He became so upset that he allegedly began spraying her in the face with Lysol. Now, he soon began demanding her to make him something to eat. She refused. He began pushing her. This is when the state's attorney's office says the fighting escalated to the point where Lawrence began beating his wife over the head with a lamppost and then held her at knife point, 2 knives, one to the face, one to the throat. Now, Lawrence's attorney says the fighting ended after the pushing, saying there was no lamppost to the head, no knives to the throat and face, just pushing. All this split the jury, proving too tough a call for them to agree on. Meanwhile, the state's attorney's office says while they are disappointed again in the outcome, they do feel good about how they tried the case, enough so that they're not sure if they'll do anything differently in their new trial.
We'll have time once a new date is set tomorrow. Certainly it'll be, months in the future. I couldn't tell you exactly how far. And that'll give us time to review everything that we did in this case and see if there's something that we want to do differently. Anytime we have a case that ends in a hung jury or a guilty or even a not guilty verdict, we certainly take the time to review everything that we did. It's always an opportunity for us to learn and do things better.
And there will be 2 hearings tomorrow morning here at the Prince George's County Courthouse. One will be to determine whether or not Samson Lawrence violated an order requiring him to stay away from his wife. The second hearing will be to set a new trial date, and so the state's attorney's office can retry him for attempted murder. Live in Prince George's County, I'm Mola Lange for WUSA9.
Okay, Mola, thank you. And the other big story tonight, the devastating and deadly storm and tornado that rolled through early this morning.
Here's meteorologist Tom Rashad, who warned us all night about what was coming. Tom.
Yes, it was the same frontal boundary that produced some severe weather here yesterday afternoon, but it rolled through the Delmarva, the extreme southern part of the Delmarva, early this morning between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. There's the line that rolled through. Look at all the lightning and all the storms. And again, that was with the same front that rolled through here earlier in the afternoon. Well, I'll kind of zoom in a little bit. This is Northampton County. That's the area that was hit, Cape Charles, and you can see the little magenta. That is the storm that rolled right through that produced originally a water spout about 5 miles to the west of Cape Charles. At 8:20, though, the tornado warning went out, and it did warn Cape Charles as the system was pushing off to the east at about 20 miles an hour. So it started as a water spout, which is simply a tornado over water, and then it moved right into Cape Charles at about 8:30, causing numerous damages and some fatalities.
Well, thank you, Top. That tornado you mentioned ripped through a popular waterfront campground on Virginia's eastern shore.
The F1 tornado swept in off the Chesapeake Bay around 8:30 this morning. 2 people are dead. Dozens more are hurt. Our Scott Broom is in Cape Charles, Virginia tonight.
Behind me here in Cape Charles, Virginia tonight, an example of the deadly tree-splitting and roof-ripping power of this F1 tornado that ripped through here this morning, targeting 1,300 innocent people in a campground. And it was falling trees that killed this vacationing New Jersey couple and badly injured their 13-year-old son. Lord Balabat and Lalabeth Ortega, both 38, were among the 1,300 campers at the Cherrystone Family Campground and RV Resort, which took a direct hit from the storm. They and their son were in tents. Other campers had their trailers tossed by the tornado. 36 were injured.
We saw the tree on the people. There was nothing that could be done for them.
A short distance from the campground tonight, nearly a dozen homes were damaged. Automated reverse 911 calls came as a warning.
As soon as we got the alert, it happened.
When it came, it was like falling down, and we all were in the bathtub.
Cornfields here were shredded by wind and hail. The campground remains evacuated, and the cleanup here in Cape Charles continues. Those with only damage and survivable injuries saying prayers for the family of the 2 victims who were lost. In Cape Charles, Scott Broom, WUSA9.
And there is damage along Chesapeake Beach. We talked to a resident who showed us the damage on her property and says if she hadn't paid attention to our WUSA9 weather warnings and alerts, she might have been outside getting in her car when a massive tree fell onto her driveway, crushing both her cars.
I was waiting for the news to come on, and it had just started. And Top Rashad had just said, if you don't have to go out, don't. And all of a sudden, it was a big crash. If it wasn't for Top Rashad saying that, I was getting ready to go in 10 minutes. So when I walked out this door, I no doubt would have got hit by that tree.
Wow, that is probably the biggest compliment a meteorologist could get. Well done, Top. And tonight, homeowners on Piscataway Drive in Fort Washington are still wondering what's going to happen to their homes. They met with Prince George's County officials, and they talked about whether to shore up the landslide and keep people in their homes or buy residents out and condemn the homes, or perhaps a combination of both. The challenge is, of course, paying for it. The most recent option was pitched last week, and it would cost about $15 million. The county would purchase and condemn 6 of the 28 houses. They would stabilize the shifting land, which would take about 6 months. After that, the remaining 22 homeowners would return. Of that $15 million, the county says it can only put up 11. The rest would have to come from the state or just somewhere else. Homeowners are still hoping for a solution that would save all the houses. Also new tonight, 2 Hyattsville women say they were attacked, and now police are warning everyone to be on alert. On July 10th, a woman was leaving the West Hyattsville metro station when a man approached from behind, demanded her cell phone, and tried to pull her into a wooded area. Well, she fought him and he took off. Then early yesterday morning, another woman was attacked. She was walking in the 3900 block of Hamilton Street when she was thrown to the ground and a man tried to rip off her clothes. She was able to fight off her attacker as well. A former tight end for the Redskins facing a judge in D.C. Fred Davis was in court and pleaded not guilty to charges that he assaulted a former girlfriend last month outside a restaurant in Adams Morgan. Well, the judge released Davis on his own recognizance but ordered him to stay away from her. He is due back in court late next month. The NFL has suspended him indefinitely for twice violating the league's substance abuse policy.
The death of women and children in a shelter in Gaza leads to deadly protests tonight. At least 2 people were killed as thousands of Palestinians protested at a border checkpoint at the West Bank. They were venting their anger at today's shelling of a school in Gaza run by the United Nations and filled with families trying to escape the fighting between Israel and Hamas militants. Instead, they found themselves in the crosshairs. At least 16 people died, 200 wounded, many of them children, and the Palestinians say the Israelis fired on the school Israel say they are investigating, but they also say Hamas rockets could be responsible. Well, fighting fires is certainly tough enough, but fighting fires in a war zone, that takes it to a whole new level of danger. A Montgomery County volunteer firefighter just got back from the front lines in Israel. But as Kristen Fisher reports, even though he's back home, he left behind some technology he hopes will help first responders over there.
Imagine it's your first time hearing those rocket sirens, your first trip to a war zone.
Get ready. To the car.
And you're heading straight to the front, right where those rockets just landed.
So right now we are responding to a brush fire.
That's 28-year-old Jason Goldberg, a Montgomery County volunteer firefighter who embedded with Israeli firefighters right along the Gaza border.
The nervousness didn't hit until I landed and I realized what I got myself into.
For 1 week, he responded to rocket attacks, slept in bomb shelters, and picked up ball bearings and shrapnel for souvenirs.
Living in Montgomery County most of my life, it's a bubble, and I was experiencing something totally different where there are people that live in daily fear, and this is the type of stuff that they're fearing right now.
Goldberg's now back at his day job in Silver Spring. He works for NowForce, an emergency response system developer that just released its SOS app to all Israelis for free.
It's a one push button distress panic notification. You're instantly connected to an emergency communications center.
If I'm in Israel, somebody would respond in about 3 minutes?
Someone would be by your side within 3 minutes. That's the average response time.
Those sirens are now 6,000 miles away. But Goldberg hopes the SOS app will help his new Israeli firefighter family.
It's a code that's global and transcends all cultures and languages. If you're a firefighter, no matter where you are, that's your brother. Hopefully this conflict will end soon and I can go back and hang out with these guys versus responding to incidents.
Now, Goldberg was just one of 13 U.S. firefighters who went to Israel as part of this emergency responder volunteer program. He actually signed up for it back in 2012, but it wasn't until just last week that he was finally called to action. And Jan, he says he's already ready to go back.
Well, thank you, Kristen. Now, to the latest on that airliner crash in Africa. Crews at the crash site in Mali say they found no survivors. The Air Algerie jetliner carried 110 passengers and a crew of 6. Nearly half of those passengers were French citizens. The State Department says it knows of no Americans on board. That plane was on a flight from Burkina Faso to Algeria, and it disappeared from the radar not long after the pilots requested a change in course because of stormy weather.
2 more military aircraft carrying victims of last week's Malaysian plane disaster arrived in the Netherlands. That's where a team of 200 experts are still working to identify the victims. And as the identification process gets underway, the search continues at the wreckage site in eastern Ukraine. As many as 100 bodies could still be lying among the debris. Australia wants to send international police officers to help secure the site and ensure a full investigation. The Obama administration also says that all signs point to Russia for supplying the weapons used to take down the airliner.
We have new evidence that the Russians intend to deliver heavier and more powerful multiple rocket launchers to the separatist forces in Ukraine.
U.S. intelligence sources say Russia is also firing artillery on Ukrainian military forces as they battle the pro-Russian separatists near where Flight 17 was shot down.
Okay, you can admit it. You play Candy Crush and you surf your Facebook at work. Now, it may annoy your boss. Turns out, though, it could actually be a good thing. We'll tell you the benefits of taking a break and playing on your smartphone. And he strikes again. Russ Potasic is so good, he even found some violators at an award-winning restaurant. And you never suspect it from how it looks on the outside. Find out which restaurants had mice and flies and other guests that none of us want to dine with.
Your traffic look ahead. I'm Monica Samtani. VDOT crews are installing a new overhead sign on I-95 near Lorton Road. Now, each night until Saturday, the HOV lanes will be closed between D.C. and Dumfries, and the regular travel lanes on I-95 will be closed in both directions near Lorton Road for up to 30 minutes after midnight on Saturday. Now, the new sign will span across all lanes of I-95. The 95 express lanes are more than 80% complete and are on scheduled to open by early 2015. For more information, log on to our website, WUSA9.com. And for all your traffic information, follow me on Twitter at MonicaOn9.
Get the most out of your entertainment with 100% fiber optic Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful.
Go back to class with confidence. Right now at Our Eyes, now VisionWorks, buy one complete pair of glasses and get another pair free. Find more than a pair of glasses. Find a better you. VisionWorks.
The Toyota July Savings Event is on, with big savings on many models. Now's the time to take home a Camry with 0% APR plus $1,250 Toyota finance cash. Or get a Camry 2-year Toyota Care lease for $189 a month and pay no scheduled maintenance. Shop Toyota's official website for deals. BuyAToyota.com for more offers that you won't see on TV. Toyota, let's go places.
The moment you step through our doors, it's on. Live is where limits and expectations are raised. Live is where friends, food, and fortune are always ready. Live Casino. Always live, always on.
Get the latest back-to-school styles they'll wear every day. At Our Eyes, now VisionWorks, we have the largest selection of kids' frames anywhere. And right now, get 2 complete pairs of glasses for just $99. VisionWorks.
In today's restaurant alert, rodent droppings, flies, and no hot water.
What's more, we're tracking a repeat violator and 2 other closures in D.C. with the WUSA9 Restaurant Alert app. Here's investigative reporter Russ Potasic.
From Foggy Bottom to the U Street corridor to a carryout in Northeast, you can track all these closure violations in the WUSA9 Restaurant Alert app. Prima Piatti on I Street Northwest touts awards it won in the 80s and 90s, but awards won't make anyone immune from today's inspectors.
I would not particularly choose to go there.
This man checked the violations using the WUSA9 Restaurant Alert app. He texted the word food to 25543, got a link, and searched the Prima Piatti's June 25th report.
The total violations are 18. Rodent droppings present.
There's no mention of house wine, but
there are houseflies present.
Looking for Chinese takeout on U Street Northwest? Watch out for a repeat violator. That's right, repeat violator. A June 2012 report shows inspectors closed Peking Express the first time, with the violation being customers must pass through the food production kitchen to access the single toilet. On June 27th this year, the app shows a report with 15 violations, including rodent droppings found in the kitchen and no thermometer in reach-in refrigerator. In the mood for soul food, pizza, or subs? Type in Eddie's Carryout on Bladensburg Road Northeast and check its June 18th closure inspection with violations including no hot and cold running water provided on premises. You can track all of their follow-up inspections in the WUSA9 Restaurant Alert. They passed them all, and they're all back in business. To get the app, text FOOD to 25543. We'll send you a link. I'm investigative reporter Russ Potasic, WUSA9.
We're all repeat violators on this one, hopping on Facebook, texting our friends, or even playing Candy Crush or Angry Birds while we're at work.
Or comic books or other books. So your boss might think it's zapping your productivity, but a new study says that is not the case, Derek. Researchers at Kansas State University studied 72 full-time employees. They spend an average of about 22 minutes a day on their phone doing something non-work related. These breaks were just a minute or two long, and at the end of the day, these employees were happier. Researchers say while it might seem like a distraction, that little break might actually help your productivity. Workers are more refreshed and less distracted when they can briefly talk with family members or play a short game Or read a comic book.
Do whatever they want. Go take a 3-hour lunch. I think that is helpful to everybody's day.
Well, I mean, it replaces the old cigarette breaks, basically. Now it's just texting and Angry Birds.
That's true.
Okay.
There you
And
go,
healthier
Top.
for you, actually. All right, we're looking at a spectacular finish to the week and a spectacular tomorrow, Friday night. And then we have the reality check. It's going to get hot over the weekend again. Let's start with a live look outside. 83 today was the high. That beats our 94 on Wednesday, doesn't it? It's our live Michael and Son weather cam. It's down to 75. Look at the dew points in the 50s. Again, I don't care if you know what the dew point is scientifically. When it's in the 50s, you can say, I can probably open the windows and turn the AC off, and also means a good hair day. For you scientists out there, that's the temperature the air must be cooled to reach 100% saturation, which in some cases, it's a very good indication of how low we can go at night. We look at it when we forecast low temperatures. So grab your sunglasses tomorrow and keep them handy all weekend, really. Morning camp temps, mid-60s to mid-70s, very pleasant. A fantastic finish, pleasantly warm, but not humid, and a perfect Friday night to be outside. If you have plans to invite folks over, grilling out or cooking out, it's going to be fantastic. Here's the futurecast. Just pay attention to temps. Nothing else to worry about. We'll start at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Walking to lunch, it's still in the 70s in the burbs. You won't even perspire walking to lunch. 81 downtown. By 1 o'clock, 83. Low 80s in the burbs. And then by 4 o'clock, everybody warms up to a pretty level playing field. 84 in Leesburg and 85 downtown. Still not humid, though. Very comfortable. By 6 o'clock, down to 83 in the city, but 80 in Gaithersburg and 81 over in Leesburg and 80 in Manassas. And then by 8 o'clock, temps are in the mid-70s already in the burbs and upper 70s downtown, which is kind of nice. Another great day tomorrow. If you want to exercise in the evening, you can. It will be comfortable. It will be safe, cool enough, and the air quality will be okay. 73 in Gaithersburg at 9 o'clock and 74 in Leesburg at 9 o'clock. And then by midnight, if you're hanging out late, 60s come back into the picture with temperatures in the mid-70s downtown. That's about as nice as it gets in July. So overnight, clearing and cooler, 58 to 68. Remember that dew point of 56? Yeah, I looked at that. We'll say 58 to 68. And with clearing skies and calm winds, some folks will be in the upper 50s in some of the far northern and western suburbs. So here it is to start, upper 60s downtown, and then low 70s by 9 o'clock, upper 70s by 11 o'clock, and low 80s by 1 o'clock, but again, not humid. So fantastic Friday. More humid and hot on Saturday, 90. Back to reality, essentially. A slight chance of an isolated storm. Still looks great for the Billy Joel concert at the Nats Park. Hot and humid on Sunday. A little better chance of an isolated storm. We're back in the low 90s. Next 7 days, temps go down on Monday. Upper 80s, maybe a shower. And then great Tuesday and Wednesday, low 80s. Lows downtown in the 60s. Lows in the burbs in the 50s. Nats back in town next week. On Thursday, highs around 85. Kristen will join us in just a minute with the latest from Redskin and Ravens training camp.
It works at home, it works where you work, and everywhere you go. Alerting you to severe weather 24/7. The WUSA9 weather app, powered by local Toyota dealers. Download it today and make your smartphone smarter.
It's Regency Furniture's sizzling summer savings. And look what $295 buys. Hundreds of sofas in new colors and styles. Now $295. Beautiful queen beds, your choice, just $295. Sizzling summer savings at Regency Furniture.
Mr. Fitzgerald, do you sell Hondas?
We sell Hyundais. More car for less money and a lot more fun to buy with our posted, no haggle, no hassle, low prices. Plus, you get Fitzway service, too.
Get sizzling summer lease deals at Fitzgerald Hyundai. Lease the new 2014 Santa Fe Sport for only $249 a month. Hurry in for the best selection to Fitzgerald Hyundai in Rockville and Gaithersburg.
That's the Fitzway. There's just no better way to go.
You decided to downsize your home. Then I said the contract should include an inspection, which revealed you weren't alone. Let a RE/MAX agent guide you. RE/MAX, dream with your eyes open.
When you're in a Next Day Blind showroom, you'll see full-size working samples of all the products we make. So it's really easy to imagine what they'll look and feel like in your home.
So what do you think?
Perfect.
Next Day Blinds, exactly right. Completely you.
This is my contour. It knows there are lots of sides.
We each have our own tastes.
And of course, our own sensibilities.
What about my style?
Fortunately, Contour can record all our shows.
Up to 6 at the same time.
So we all get what we want. That takes brains.
Someone say brains?
That's why Contour is TV just for me.
Record 6 shows at once for the many sides of you, only with Contour.
It's Regency Furniture's sizzling summer savings. And look what $2.95 buys. Hundreds of sofas in new colors and styles. Now $2.95. Beautiful queen beds, your choice, just $2.95. Sizzling summer savings at Regency Furniture.
Football training camp coverage sponsored by Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Life teaches us that variety is good. Without variety, life has no spice. Without choice, we're stuck. Why? Because without choice, we're at the mercy of chance. Why chance our future on only one transportation fuel? Biodiesel is a key piece in America's diverse energy picture. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Day one is in the books for the Washington Redskins, and despite the torrential rains and a mud pit-like field, everyone got out unscathed, so you can breathe a sigh of relief. However, Robert Griffin III did look a little rusty today. Coach Gruden called his performance erratic. Dave Owens is in Richmond with more on day one.
Well, guys, today was one of those practices where a coach may not admit it, but he was probably saying to himself, let's just get through this and let's hope nobody gets hurt. Mother Nature dialing up a deluge on Thursday. Yeah, the show went on, waterlogged, but it still went on. Boy, and look at these sloppy conditions. This place was a soggy mess, although it didn't dampen the spirits of the fans who braved it. How about the execution on the field? Well, shall we say it left much to be desired. I saw a lot of drop balls out there. Robert Griffin looking a little rusty and inaccurate, too. Although he's not panicking. In fact, he and some of his teammates actually say the team benefited from the mosh pit practice.
As an offense, we weren't as efficient as we wanted to be today all around, including myself. So it's a good thing to have to work through the rain and have to throw those wet footballs and have to catch those wet footballs and have to work on the quarterback center exchange.
Conditions are awful, but the field feels great, though. And we got to get used to it, you know. It's a change of pace, it's a change of elements, and we got to get used to it.
It sucks to be in the rain, but, you know, like me, all the players want to come out here and get our first practice in our belt.
Rather than the wet ball drill, you know, dropping some balls and fumbling a couple snaps, we were able to get all the reps in. So we had a lot of learning that we could get accomplished on tape. So it was we were very fortunate.
Yeah, Jay Gruden also adding very candidly about his quarterback that Robert had to be better. He said, Robert will be the first to tell you that, and I'll be the second. Coach being very upfront. Let's hope tomorrow we have some better weather out here in Richmond. For now, back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Dave. Up in Owings Mills, the start of training camp was overshadowed by the news of the 2-game suspension for Ray Rice. But they actually did get quite a bit of work in as well, shaking off that rust, working on that new offense. This has been a big year for former Terrapin Torrey Smith. He and his wife welcomed a baby boy this offseason, but things could even get better for him. This is a contract year for Smith, who last season put up career highs in catches and receiving yards. The team has made it known they want to keep him, but Smith says he won't let that be a distraction.
I don't think about the contract at all. I mean, every year is important. I want to win, and that stuff kind of takes care of itself. So, you know, I'm not going to be out there on the field while I'm running the route like, man, Ozzie saw that. you know, I'm out there. I'm just, you know, I'm here to win, man. I'm a Raven, always going to be a Raven, and that's all I worry about.
Gotta love that guy. All right, both teams back at it again tomorrow. Live reports from Richmond and Owings Mills tomorrow evening. WUSA9 will be right back after this break.
A deadly tanning bed risk you've never heard of. You never expected this to happen.
On The Doctors, tomorrow at 9 a.m. on WUSA9.
What does more look like? The Hyundai Elantra. More value, more happy owners, more peace of mind with America's best warranty. For 10 years, 100,000 miles. More quality, highest ranked in initial quality by J.D. Power. More safety. And right now, get more savings. Lease an Elantra for only $159 a month or get up to $2,000 in total savings. Get more at your local Hyundai dealers or visit buyhyundai.com.
Without the internet, I would probably be like a C student.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials is going to transform the lives of families.
Together with Time Warner Cable, we can bring the internet to millions more.
I see myself as maybe an entrepreneur.
Comcast and Time Warner Cable. Together is better for more people.
It's our firm belief that corners are meant to be hugged, not cut. Luxury without compromise. The all-new Audi A3. Experience the Summer of Audi event today and get exceptional values on the Audi you've always wanted.
I hope it never ends. Big smile. Yes! Is all I can say. So glad you are my friend. Say yes! And it's a yes day. It's total happiness. I smile. Let ourselves play. We know this day's the best. Say yes! And it's a yes day.
This summer, say yes to happy. For overnight packages, visit HersheyPark.com.
Today's the day to make a summer memory. The Lincoln Summer Invitation. See where your summer takes you. Get exceptional offers on the 2014 Lincoln MKX. Lease it now for $379 a month, or choose 0% APR for 60 months. You'll also want to test drive the first ever Lincoln MKC luxury utility.
Uncle Greg, what's the deal?
Oh, you can't record that many shows at once.
Why?
You can't save every single cartoon.
Why?
You know you can't pause the TV here and play it in another room.
Why?
It's time for Fios Quantum TV. Store up to 200 hours in HD. Record up to 12 shows at once. Pause and play live TV room to room. Plus, watch live TV on the go with the Fios mobile app. Redefining what TV can be.
WUSA9 News is sponsored in part by your local Toyota dealers.
This is one of those weekends. It's warm, but you can put up with it.
It is. I mean, it's typical July. I mean, we steal one tomorrow, honestly. 84 tomorrow, we're in fine shape, and then back at the heat over the weekend.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
All right.
That is our broadcast for tonight. We want to thank you for sticking around.
Yes, and don't forget, we're always on WUSA9.com. Letterman is next. Make it a great night on this Friday Eve. Woo!
Thank you for watching WUSA9 News. For weather radar, live traffic, and streaming news stories, download the free WUSA9 News app